Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. Once again, we got three jewels here of a show. And make sure you get a pencil because this is very important. You know, Dr. Johnson is going to tell you about the formula, and she's brought someone live here, Dianne Hawkins, to tell you really how this system works. Welcome, Dr. Mary Johnson, again to the Ed Brown Show. And what we want to do is we want you to introduce your student there from UDC, Mrs. Hawkins.
Thank you so much, Ms. Brown. I'm very happy to be here again today. Ms. Hawkins is a student of 3 courses that I've taught her, starting with basic math, which she did not like at first, but
she loves it.
She became an excellent student, and she went right on to the next course with A's, and the next course with A's and B's, and she just finished general college math.
Is that right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Dianne, tell us about this system that Dr. Johnson has here.
Well, first, I just want to say she's the best math professor in the world. That's first.
She's the best math
professor in the world.
All right.
She has a formula for the students that is basically you first of all, you study hard. That's first and foremost. And if you know the rules and the laws, math is really easy. And I never really looked at it like that. And when I started, I graduated in 1982, so this is my first time in college. So I was petrified when I walked in.
I would be too.
Yeah. So I hadn't been in school in a really long time, and especially with math, you have to start off with the general courses in the beginning. And when I got into basic math, it was like reading German. I had no idea what I was doing. I couldn't remember anything. So
she cut all that fear out.
She
right?
did indeed. She did indeed. And if you know the rules, and you know the laws.
What do you think it was? That 101 that did it? Or
system? And her system is, she gave us a quiz every day, which tested our skills daily. So we kept abreast, and she'd break things down from the smallest denominator to the largest, and that helped me a lot. So. She's really, and she's patient.
And she's patient. Oh, wow.
Very patient. And our classes are small at UDC Community College. It's between 21 and 25 students, so that helped a lot as well.
Yes. That's the key. That's what Mary has said. Dr. Johnson has said repeatedly, you know, the size is the key, you know, because she can give individual attention. What we're going to do now, Mary, we want to hit that formula. So you want to stand up there and tell us what this formula is about there.
Yes.
Stand to the side so that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brown. The formula looks hideous, as one of my students said to me. He said, "What is this formula? How am I going to learn math with that formula? It's so hard." But then we broke it down. Okay, we said, what is S? And this is the key to understanding any formula. You have to know the meaning of every letter in the formula. So that's what I'm talking about now. S represents success in learning math. Success in learning math.
You want to point to it?
Yes. Success represents success in learning math. Just as P represents perimeter of a triangle or some other figure. Equals. C represents confidence. Add confidence, which we talked about. When we add confidence, we subtract fear. C for confidence, F represents fear. The big item is add effort times effort, and I'd like to say effort times effort times effort times effort times effort, but I must stop at effort times effort. Effort times effort, because that is the key. Students have to learn how to put forth effort. They must learn that you just can't look up and come up with an answer and that's correct. You must know and have a process, know a formula, know a law, know a definition in order to do any mathematics. It's not off the top of your head anymore. Elementary grades, yes, but not at this point. Okay. T means time. You have to set aside time. Divide your time into hours of work. Very important. So this is the formula. This is how it looks symbolically in mathematical language, and this is what everything represents. Now, first I talked to students about the meaning of success. How do you get success in learning math? How do you have to add confidence, which help you subtract fear? The quizzes help to subtract the fear, because as you get 100 on the quizzes, time after time, your fear of math starts dwindling, and that's what happens in my class. Students can, over 90% of the students make 100 or 80 on their quizzes. Only one or two students make below that on quizzes. This is from day to day. And
Yeah,
so this,
how often you have those quizzes?
every class period.
Every class?
Yes, and graded right there on the spot. Check them, tell them where the mistake is right there on the spot. I get a half second, at least a half second with every student, every class, to tell them where the problems is or congratulate them for their 100 or whatever. But I get that individualized, I work that individualized moment into the classroom, no matter how many students I have. And every student's paper is checked. Everything's done within about 15 minutes. Because
she relates the math to the English.
Yes.
And the relationship,
Exactly.
Tell us about that relating.
Relating the math to the English, because anything that you can't say in English that you say in math will be confusing to students. You have to be able to relate the two. In fact, we started on problem solving last time. And talking about problem solving, what I have done is I help students to learn how to translate. In fact, they keep a running record of a translation chart where they translate the words in the problem to mathematical symbols so they can use the laws of mathematics to solve the problems. And that's very key, that translation. And what I've done through the years is almost every type of problem, algebraic, pre-calculus, calculus, whatever, I have been able to help students construct what I call a solution sentence. Mm-hmm. The solution sentence relates everything in the problem into one complete sentence that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then you translate that sentence into your formula.
Go back to the
Go
formula.
back to your formula and translate that sentence into mathematical symbols. And then you're ready to apply the laws, definitions, not at the top of your head, but laws, real laws, not your laws, the laws that are standard, and then you can solve the problems. And students are thrilled when they get definitions that are clear, and that's where the English comes in. The definitions have to be very clear.
So you have to know some English in order to do the math.
You really do. You have to. And when you have a lot of gibberish and discussing,
okay.
It's too much.
Okay, we want to thank you. You'll be back on the next show. We're going further with this mathematics. Dr. Johnson has done a terrific job. So what you want to do, you want to make sure you watch the Ed Brown Show. And we have some more guests coming on. We had a real tall guy coming on, and we have some people about senior citizen coming on. So don't go anywhere. But remember that formula. See you in a second. Hi, welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And we have our dynamic guest here. I mean, he's a tall guy, about 6'9" or something like that, from right here in Prince George County, Suitland, Maryland, the Mather High School, University of Maryland. And he was one of the first on the team with Maryland won the first ACC title in 20 years. And this Travis Garrison is one of them, and he has just written a book. I tell you, he's overseas playing now. Garrison, tell us, how did you get involved in this? You had time to write a book, and then you influenced a lot of other players about what you have to do when these different steps that you go through, high school, college, and pros. Right now, you're with the country, what is it, Greece?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us a little bit, and what inspired you to write Never Satisfied?
First, I just want to thank you for having me on the show. My book, Never Satisfied, I was inspired by a young man who I gave advice to maybe a couple of years ago. He was having some troubles off the court, and he wanted some advice from me. He'd been watching me play basketball since I've been in high school, So he saw my progress through high school and college.
Oh wow!
So
you developed fans early, huh?
yes, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes. But he asked me for some advice, and we were outside of IHOP, actually off of Route 1, and I was talking to him for maybe 2 hours.
Wow!
I was
You
basically.
ate a lot of pancakes. You was in the IHOP for 2 hours.
No, we were outside in the parking lot. We were outside in the
stayed
parking
in the
lot.
parking lot.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He basically asked my advice for a few things, and the thing with me, once I get to talking, especially about something I'm so into and so inspired by doing, which is helping the youth, I can go on and on and on. But I basically was as transparent as I can be as far as how I became successful in high school, what was my downfalls, and then how I got back on my feet again. Some things he was unaware of, and some things he was because, you know, playing on TV and reading the newspaper, and I know him personally. But the things he wasn't aware of, I basically told him the mistakes I've made on and off the court. So after speaking to him, maybe a year after that, he contacted me. He said he's been looking for me for quite some time, and he just thanked me just for the advice I gave him. And you know, when I give advice to young kids or anybody, it's not me looking for some type of pat on the back. You know, it's mostly just giving the mistakes I've made and the things I've learned along my career, along the way, the advice to help them not make those same mistakes. So he thanked me and basically told me I should share my story in a book. I was hesitant, you know, because I'm basically putting my
Your first book, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. But I was hesitant because, you know, I'm putting my personal business out there for the whole world can see, you know, or the people that read my book can know. You know, I might have some fans who may know me about being a basketball player on the court, but not aware of the things I dealt with maybe off the court. So it was tough at first, you know, to open up the way I did. But once I started to write down some topics and subjects I'll talk about in the book, I got more inspired, and then I started getting the adrenaline rush the same way I do as I'm preparing for a basketball game. So I just felt as though it was a calling from the man upstairs to do this. And so once I started, I just couldn't stop.
How long did it take you?
It actually only took me a few months, you know.
A few months?
Yes, it didn't take me long at all. It didn't take me long at all because
that's great for your first book for a few months.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That means you put a lot of effort in it, you know, in order to come up with a product like that, you know. And as far as, tell us some of the things that you experienced, you know, on the different levels that you played that the young people out there should look out for or should make sure they cover it.
Basically, you know, starting in high school, that's when I really got somewhat of, I guess, a celebrity status, not a, you know, local celebrity status. How
that
about
was at DeMatha.
At DeMatha, yes,
Okay.
yes. You start having people that come around that may want things from you, or that just want to befriend you just because of who you are.
Or your status.
Exactly, exactly. People, you know, coaches or some people that may want to give you things just because of the potential you may have. And if you're not aware of that, it's kind of tough to define.
You got to be careful.
Exactly.
Right.
It's tough to decipher who's your friend and who's in it because they
want to make money.
Right, and who's truly genuine. So you run through those things, but so, you know, through DeMatha, you know, I had a successful career there. Great school, great coaches. But when I went to Maryland, you know,
things changed a little bit.
Things changed a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
they just won a national championship. They just won a national championship. And
head got that big, right?
Head got that big, you know. And coming up, you know, the way my mom raised me and my dad, you know, is to be humble, you know, and basically to just basically keep God first and to stay true to who you are. And I kind of fell off track with that. You know, I fell off track with that. But, you know, learning the things that I've learned, dealing with the things that I dealt with, now it helps me better to help younger players not make those same mistakes.
Because you're telling them, you know, don't do it the hard way. It may seem easy, but the temptation is out there because you have people that are really not sincere. You know, they just want to be a friend a person that in the spotlight.
Exactly, exactly. But you'll know who your true friends are, because once I started to go down,
They
you know,
disappeared.
Disappeared. But I'm kind of glad that it happened that way. Now I
Mm.
know who's really in my corner and who's not. So, you know, but it motivated me to, like I said, to help younger players, and I'm still playing ball myself. So it's to keep. It's like a motivational factor to keep
Right.
fighting.
Well, tell us a little bit about your overseas experience with the various teams in Greece. How did you make an adjustment to their society? It's a little different over there.
So it's a lot different,
Yeah.
you know, especially like I said, my goal was to make it to the NBA. I never thought I'd be playing basketball overseas, but it's been a great experience. You know, I played in maybe 7, 8 different countries.
Is that right?
Yes, yes.
8 different countries. Huh?
Yes, a lot of.
How was you received there? Did you get any animosity? You know, sometimes we think the Americans are #1, and the rest of the world, they sort of resent that.
Definitely, and they'll let you know that.
They'll let you know
by their body gestures or the way they stare at you. You know, it was a hard adjustment at first. You know, my first country I played in was South Korea. The fans there were great. The people there were great. I didn't really. A lot of people stared a lot because I was tall and African American. You know, so that was an adjustment period. Then the following year I went to Turkey. But
in Turkey too.
Yes, sir. So the different countries I've been in is different type of reactions. You know, some more welcome than others. So it's an experience. I enjoy it. You know, I've come to love it, and I do it year in and year out. So I'm thankful. And
so now you're going to become an author too, right? You started your first book, and how successful that's going to be. You're going to continue that phase of your career.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. You know, I really enjoy speaking to youth and to trying to help inspire others to and keep those from not making those same mistakes I've made, and to make parents and players aware of what's to come.
Great. It's great to have you on the show, and all young people out here, you listen to someone that experienced the experience that you're going to have. And I mean, he's giving some terrific advice. Some of you don't get your head too big, Think about the way you came up, and keep God in your cross. You got to do that. God is one thing that he brings you through a lot of things, So I want to thank you for being here and everything, and continue the good work. Anything we can do, and it's fantastic that you're out there helping other youth to get ready for life. Okay, this is Ed Brown. Hey, we're going to bring a young lady here. It's Mrs. Scott's going to talk about adult living. What is it? We'll wait till Maria come. I can't do it. See you in a second. Hi, welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And once again, we have Creatus LLC. I mean, we have this young lady here. Like I said, she's been in the family through my daughter and everything a long, long time. But she has this organization, Adult Assisting Living. And Maria Scott, it's great to have you. I haven't seen you for a while, but look like you're doing wonderful things. Tell us a little bit about this adult assistant plan.
Mr. Brown, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for the opportunity to share the vision that the Lord has actually given me. But actually, Adult Assistant, Creatus Adult Assistant Living Facility is actually a 5-star ambiance facility, and we focus on the needs of our older senior adults. And actually we have 24-hour service where we have medical assistants who are actually certified for the 21st century healthcare community, and they actually serve, I use that word because we serve our senior adults. And we're really excited about being able to.
Where are you located?
In Forestville, Maryland. I'm located
Forestville, Maryland.
In Forestville, Maryland, yes.
You stayed at home. Kim went down to Kentucky.
That's right. Well, actually, I took my entire house and converted it into the facility. So we have actually a jacuzzi in the backyard that is still
I love
operative.
That. I know that stays busy.
Yeah, it does. We have actually the garden in the back. And I've done quite extensive renovations to make certain that our senior adults are treated with the best dignity and respect, as well as a quality of lifestyle that is very important to our community in this day and hour.
And your programming, tell us a little bit about that.
The programming?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have a couple of things. We have the actual facility that we're able to service for elderlies in the home, and we also have outsourced where we can actually go into the homes and actually service.
Tell us about that, because a lot of seniors, they don't want to leave home, they want to stay
let me
home.
just share with you, I have a very strong team of individuals who are committed to my vision, and they have been working with me quite closely. For example, we have a group of 3 young ladies who went to one elderly home and actually cleaned.
Wow.
And organized,
Yeah.
and actually brought
Boy,
life.
I need that organized.
Yeah, they brought life back into the home, and it was just amazing transformation. We also have individuals who are actually certified to give medication. So they go into the homes, they actually work with the families and provide medication, because a lot of times older adults are not at the place where they can remember to take their medicine as scheduled. So oftentimes they can't see it. Sometimes they may give themselves high blood pressure medicine when they really don't need it.
Right.
Right. So that's one of the outsources that we do as well.
What about the outsource of, many times there's little things around the house that need to be done, and seniors, sometimes they are victims of frauds and everything, and they need to know that they can call Creatus and find out who can fix that bathroom floor, or who can fix that garage door, or something like that.
Well, I tell you, my dad is one that I'm always giving someone to help him, because he's fallen off the ladder.
Yeah,
He's done
sure.
some, really interesting
I don't do
things,
ladders
right,
either.
that he can't do anymore. But I have literally landscaping carpenters. He had his water heater went out on him, and it was just a phone call away. So I literally have a team of individual professionals who have the highest integrity, and most of all, they have a regard for the senior community.
Right.
We are not going to cheat our community, and we're not going to steal or any of the above. We're going to provide the services. Yes,
that's fantastic. That's something that really that outsource that seniors really need, and I'm sure that we're going to take advantage of. I'm going to be one, because I got a little workaround.
The other thing that we provide is daycare. We provide daycare services for
grandchildren?
No, for our seniors.
Oh, for seniors.
Oftentimes they go to a lot of larger facilities. They're not able to have that hands-on one-on-one. But we work from a smaller group.
Is that
and so
right?
yes, and so we spend quality time with the smaller group. We'll take them out, but it's on a smaller scale, sort of like you're maybe taking your children, instead of taking them to the 50 number of daycare, you may have maybe a smaller group of 7 or a smaller group of 10. So we actually provide meals, quality meals. They're just not meals that you just throw together. Quality meals, quality snacks, and the camaraderie. We're also working with them to continue their cognitive development, as well as their reading, their writing. Many of them are very sharp, so we're working with crossword puzzles, helping them to journal and things like that, to draw. We actually partner also with local churches, so they can go out. That's right. They can go outside the home and to actually spend quality time in a Christian atmosphere as well.
Okay, that sounds so fantastic. And all of you out there, you got to Creatus LLC. Now, this is something all you seniors, you have to think about. When you want something done on the outside, want something done on the inside, or if you decide, hey, I'm tired of this house, I want to go to a #1 adult living environment. Don't forget Creatus LLC. See you next time.